You guys want to see me give the Genshin fandom a conniption? Boom! Right there. They're mad. They're mad. They're mad. They're angry. They're livid. I'm gonna make it worse now. Boom! Now that's even worse. Now that's even worse. There we go. They're angry. They're all riled up and angry now. Yes, that was absolutely necessary. I like to do a little bit of rage bait every now and then. I like to do a little bit of rage bait. So, last death battle, I may have made some people mad like I usually do, and that's from doing what I usually do. Mention how death battle can be biased at times, and then that pisses people off. Because, of course it would. People can't handle it whenever their favorite characters lose, man. Learn to take the L like I did. Remember that Godzilla vs. Hulk reaction I did? I was salty, but I took my L. Same with Ash vs. Yuki. Then again, I wasn't salty about that. I went in there knowing Ash was gonna lose, but hey, it was a good death battle, so yeah. But yeah, they got mad because I pointed out that some death battles were biased. Two in particular, specifically. That being Alucard vs. Dio and Darth Vader vs. Obito. That one being way more biased than Alucard vs. Dio. But bringing that up, pissed off some people, and I was originally going to spin this intro as explaining exactly how it is biased and how the people who think it isn't are wrong, but then I saw this. Genshin fandom problem is you need to stop watching people that only show you the bad side of it. Imagine blaming an entire community because of portion, but that's people's problem when it comes to social media. Y'all don't think for yourselves, y'all just follow the herd and believe what it says. And you're a Pokemon fan, so let's not get started with toxic fan base. So, if you don't know what this was a response to me talking about the Genshin fandom being a toxic cesspit and being one of the worst fandoms out there. Yeah. So, while I was originally gonna explain why both of those two death battles I brought up were wrong and biased, and the people who think they weren't were wrong, but that's gonna have to be put on hold because this intro is already gonna be long enough as it is. Yeah. So I'll be doing that in the next 3 weeks with the next death battle. So until then, sit your whiny asses down, and then I'll explain then. Yeah, that's what I would spend this intro doing. I'll have like a thing up telling you where to skip if you don't want to see all this. Two things: skipping this and then skipping straight to the battle. So first off, I'm gonna go ahead and give a bit of grace to this comment. Imagine blaming an entire community because of portion. And you know what? That's fair because the way I worded it, it did sound like I was blaming the entire community. And you know what? That's fair enough. Not the whole community is bad, but a good portion of it is. Yeah. Let's not act like a good portion of it isn't. And I'm gonna be annoying here and be a grammar police right now. 2 grammar mistakes. Imagine blaming a entire community. You mean an entire community. Also, wrong your right here. Wrong your. So first off, I've seen both sides of it. I've seen the good, mostly the bad, and not just from videos of people going over it. I've seen it firsthand because, you know, I have eyes and it's not hard to see. Yeah. Hell, I see some bullshit happening on Twitter every other day. Like, Jesus Christ. So, yeah, that's where I get my thoughts from actually seeing for it. So, no, I am not a part of some herd that can't think for myself. I look at it and form my own opinions, but so, you know, you're just making an assumption. So, yeah, nice job making an ass out of yourself, I guess. And then here's the final part that really gets me. It says, you're a Pokemon fan, so let's not get started with toxic fan base. So, I never brought up Pokemon. I never brought that up. This has zero relevance in what I did and what I said. Yeah, this has zero relevance because I never brought it up. And 2, I never said it was or wasn't toxic. In fact, I'm not sure if it even is toxic or not. Well, it is if you bring up Pow World, then yeah, there you go. I'll say that, yeah. But again, I never brought this up. So why are we bringing this up? Why are we going off topic and deflecting? Also, love how there's zero evidence or zero part of like just trying to, you know, debunk what I said. Like absolutely nothing saying that it just, you know, just proving that the Genshin community isn't toxic. Just absolutely nothing. Just nothing. They just say this. Yeah. So what I would like from this person is to explain how the Genshin community isn't a toxic cesspit. I would love to see that. But I'm not gonna get that. I'll probably just get another comment, something similar to this, yeah. If that even. But I just like how it immediately turned into a pissing contest. That's right here. Like, just, as you're part of a toxic fan base too, I don't even interact with it. I just do nuzlockes. Or at least I very rarely interact. I don't even know when the last time I did. I think the last time I did was talking about how shit the Eevee Evolution's moveset was in Platinum. It's really horrible, by the way. Also, while I'm at it, one of the reasons why this picture right here is gonna make people mad is because I get a lot of Genshin fandom people just cannot stand seeing, like, just seeing any type of straight ship or anything, yeah. Or just saying, you know, what the game actually is, a harem game. Yeah, it's a harem game. Let's not act like it isn't. Let's not act like it isn't. It totally is. It totally is. That's the most toxicity I see, is people getting harassed and death threats and everything over ships. Specifically straight ships, because anything straight must be horrible and just needs to be taken out. Yeah. And that's not the only toxicity. There's plenty of other stuff, including the countless amounts of controversies and dramas. Like, just... Like, there's a lot to go over. Things that usually come to mind whenever I think about it is, you know, artists getting harassed for drawing certain art that they don't like, the Tanari ENVA, that absolutely pathetic boycott they tried over Natlan, which they didn't even boycott, by the way. They said, we're going to continue playing the game, we're just not going to spend money on it. Yeah, they're still helping the game. They didn't, you know, to boycott something, you need to actually boycott it, but they can't even do that. They can't even do that. And while this wasn't, this one that comes to mind wasn't exclusive to Genshin, it was pretty much, actually I think it might have even been more than Hoyoverse. That whole, what was it, SAG-AFTRA strike? Yeah, that was a whole thing. They were on strike under the guise of getting protections from AI, but they already had protections for AI. They just wanted to create, like, a monopoly for voice actors, and, yeah, that didn't happen. Yeah. In fact, it, failed pathetically. Yeah. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to just address this comment that's basically just boils down to, my fandom's not toxic. It's not toxic at all. Oh, don't pay attention to any of those videos going over... you're just a sheep for watching those videos going over all the bad shit that has happened in my fandom. Yeah, you're part of a worse fandom. And I'm just like... you know, this might be one of those mentally ill Genshin fandom people. Yeah, they just might be. Yeah. And I don't know what else to say about this comment other than the person commenting it is pretty much a dumbass. Yeah. And, yeah, I think I'm done addressing that now. We're gonna get into this now, which, well, I don't know everything about Avatar Aang, because other than that Aang is part of the superior Avatar series, other than that piece of shit Korra. Yeah. And, but, and I'm not sure about everything from Genshin because out of all the Hoyoverse games I play, yeah, I just couldn't get into Genshin. I got into Star Rail and Zenless, though. Zenless being the most superior one. Especially when it comes to animation. You cannot argue that one. The other one you can debate. That one you cannot. You can debate which game's better. You cannot debate which ones has better animation. That one goes as endless. Easy. Anyways, back to the death battle. Like I said, I don't know absolutely everything about Aang in order to know everything about Aether, but I do know Hoyoverse power scaling, and yeah, Aang's gonna lose. Aang's gonna lose. He'll put up a fight, but he's gonna lose. Yeah. Hey, maybe I'll get pleasantly surprised. Yeah, but, yeah, we'll see when we get into this, yeah. Like I said, I don't know absolutely everything about these two, other than where they more so scale on the power scaling, and, yeah. Granted, Genshin's more so on the weaker side compared to Star Rail and Impact, and Honkai Impact 3rd, but, still. Yeah. Hey, for all I know, this could go either way, depending on how the situation goes. For all I know, that could be how it goes, but we'll find out now. Anyways, I've yapped enough. This intro's 8 minutes long. So we're gonna jump right into this. So, yeah. So, you know, original video and death battle will be linked down in the description below. Make sure you check it out. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, because it helps a lot, and is very much so appreciated. Without further ado, let's go and jump right in the video now, shall we? Yeah, and that long-ass intro is why I don't go ahead and talk about how Alucard versus Dio and Vader versus Obito is biased, because this intro is already long enough. You get that in the next 3 weeks. Anyway, let's get into this. The animation looks good, though. And I still hate the fact that we're showing sneak peeks like this at the beginning. Quit showing it!
Aang, the Avatar!
I really hope they do that. I really hope they stop showing that and just keep it all hidden until the actual fight for the next season.
Versus Aether, the Traveler.
Which journeyman will come out on top in this elemental battle?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the 4 nations lived in harmony,
some other things,
united by a
bloodbending.
master of the elements, the Avatar.
This avatar reincarnated as different people for centuries, all with their own struggles. And man, was that true for our boy Aang.
Not at first, of course, thanks to his master and guardian, Gyatso.
As a cheeky little air nomad, Aang traveled the world causing shenanigans, all while learning to control the winds with airbending.
Based on the real-life martial art Bagua Zhang, airbending is the most spiritual of the four bending styles, focusing on evading and diverting attacks through circular motions. With even the smallest movement, Aang can create tornadoes, run like the wind, and block hypersonic explosions.
The perfect style for a twinkle-toed goofball like Aang. He even invented his own technique, the air scooter.
Dude's 4'6". Short boy. Well, there's our short king right there, I guess. But I never said who I'm rooting for. I'm not really rooting for anyone. I'm just here to see a good fight. So, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm here. Yeah. Thought I should say that. I didn't say that earlier. So, but, yeah, there it is.
How does he not fall off that thing?
Add in a glider staff for flight, and the sky was the limit. But you know how it goes. Everything changed
when the Fire Nation attacked.
Their conquest spread, war was inevitable, and Aang was the only one who could save the world.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with all that, and being forcibly separated from Gyatso. He was just a kid, so he froze up. Like, literally, he accidentally froze himself and his adorable Sky Bison Appa for 100 years.
Until he was awakened.
Is that why he said he was 112 years old, but biologically 12? He, like, froze himself for 100 years? Is that why that said that?
By the Water Tribe siblings Katara and Sokka. Time wasn't kind to Aang's people. With no avatar to keep balance, the Airbenders, Aang's entire culture, were wiped out by the Fire Nation.
Oh, that's rough, buddy. Yep. But Aang took the wake-up call to heart.
As the Avatar, it's Aang's duty to understand the world's people, learning their cultures, their sadness, joy, and humanity.
And what better way to do that than learning how they kick ass?
From the Northern Water Tribe and his twin crush, Aang learned waterbending. Themed around fluid Tai Chi movements, this style controls liquid in all forms to freeze targets, create water whips, and even cut through steel.
Learning earthbending was way tougher, but Aang's friend Toph taught him to stop being a wimpy pushover. Now he can armor himself in stone, move the terrain of entire cities, and fight
Naruto fans be screaming at the screen right now at the sight of Toph.
blind
We know why.
the sonar-style seismic sense.
Earthbending is themed around the steady stances of Hung Quan Kung Fu, waiting for the right moment to strike head-on.
There was a lot to learn, but even with the world at stake and this moody hothead on his tail, Aang had fun doing it. Who could forget the adventures penguin sledding, going through the bending bayous, and living in Ba Sing Se, the city where no wars ever happened.
Nope.
Yet across his journey, one
I had to have that meme explained to me because of how long it's been since I watched Avatar. I watched it like... I don't even know how long ago it's been. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. But yeah, I had to have that explained to me on stream because it was like brought up in meme format and, well, I was thankfully explained it.
power eluded Aang, the Avatar state, an enhanced mode of being that came to him in moments of peril.
Sure, if Aang dies in it, the Avatar cycle ends permanently, but who cares when it gives you enough power to wipe out a whole Navy fleet?
Come on, Boomstick. The Avatar state
the hell
is
are you
more
here?
than just a power amp.
Jocelyn, how long have you been standing there?
I've been here the whole time. I lurk where all Avatar talk is. Through the cosmic power of the Avatars before him and the ancient spirit Rava, Aang gains the knowledge and experience of all previous Avatars, greatly expanding his bending options. Lava bending from Avatar Roku, sonic shouts from Avatar Yang Chen, and even more are theoretically available to him through their memories.
Oh, I get it. You can't just grind your way to controlling the Avatar state.
Right. If Aang wanted to stop Fire Lord Ozai, he needed something else.
He needed onion banana juice.
Yeah, technically, I suppose. Gross.
Specifically, Aang sought the guidance of Guru Patek. Mastering his power meant clearing his chakras, emptying his mind of earthly attachments.
Golem form? Excuse me? Okay.
Seems simple,
Never heard of
but
that.
this also
That's
meant
new to me.
rejecting his feelings for Katara, the person he loved most.
When he had to choose between the world or the girl, Aang followed his heart and it didn't end well.
Oh.
He got better. Aang was determined to understand the world's people, even the enemy Fire Nation. something he accomplished thanks to the redeemed Prince Zuko, the Sun Warriors,
And these two honkin' dragons! Aang was scared of firebending, but it's totally awesome! It's not just about burning and blowing shit up. Okay, well it is, but there's so much more to it.
Formed from the explosive movements of Shaolin Kung Fu, firebending controls all manner of heat. And through the teachings of fire and water, he can redirect lightning bending, a burst of atmospheric discharge shot at over 200,000 miles per hour.
Iroh, the best uncle ever, used his techniques to redirect natural lightning. So, you know it's the real deal. Not crazy enough? At his peak, Aang surpassed benders who could throw buildings, melt stone, and hold up this gigantic library solo. Whooping Ozai's butt should be no problem, right?
Not exactly. You see, the air nomads were pacifists who believed in the value of life above all. Being the last airbender, Aang didn't think his people were truly gone unless he went back on their teachings, meaning he really didn't want to kill Ozai.
So, what, he's just a coward now? Mr. Firelord is about to burn down the entire—
Yeah, because like I said, it's been forever since I watched Avatar, so forgive me if I'm wrong something. But I look at the elements, I'm like, how the hell does air, what is probably should be the strongest element out of them, just die out like that? But I guess the pacifist kind of makes sense, because, you know, you get creative enough with the air, you basically control the weather, and then, you know, if you get creative enough, you can almost do fire yourself. Kind of. Like I said, you have to get real creative with it. But with the air, you know, you just control weather. Then, you know, you get ice, lightning. There you go. You already have air, which that's pretty powerful itself. Probably depends on whether, you know, you can turn up the, heat or not with the air. Yeah. Or lower it down. Yeah. But then again, he's already got, like, water and fire breathing. So, you know. Yeah. I'm just saying if you're exclusively air, but no.
Earth Kingdom!
Not at all. Are you even listening? Aang was simply at odds with what he wanted and what the world expected, so he needed to make a choice.
Also, I don't know if earthbending can do this. Again, like I said, it's been forever, but shouldn't they be able to, like, control, like, plants and everything, too, since that's part of the earth? Not just, you know, metal, alloy, and sand and shit? Yeah.
Right. In his greatest challenge yet,
again, very uneducated in this, because like I said, it's been a while.
Aang discovered his true self, making his spirit unbendable and finally mastering the Avatar state.
Making him as strong as avatars who could cause hurricanes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions.
Or in Avatar Kyoshi's case, a new island. As in, she broke off nearly 30 square miles of a peninsula to form a new landmass. But to defeat Ozai, Aang needed one final element, something few avatars had bent before: energy bending.
Not the easiest thing to do, but Aang totally overwhelmed Ozai, severing the tyrant's connection to fire and stopping his invasion, all while keeping his no-kill run intact. The ultimate F you to this warlord's ideology.
That's definitely going to come into play in the death battle, isn't it?
Now that the Fire Nation had cooled off,
No.
Aang led a new era of peace with the United Republic of Nations, a place where all people could prosper and where a new generation and a new avatar would take the reins.
He even got hitched with Katara. Take that, Zutara shippers!
I will end you.
For all his doubts, Aang fulfilled the avatar.
Oh my god, please tell me she's not here because of the shipping shit. Oh my god. Because I mentioned that Genshin, one of the things that makes the Genshin fandom unbearable is the shipping wars, and she's over here getting mad about that. Oh no. Oh no. It's totally gonna be happening in the Genshin part, isn't it?
Avatar's destiny and then some, and he did it in a way that was true to who he was.
Because before being the Avatar, or even an airbender, the greatest thing he could ever be was himself. All in a day's work for a free, fun-loving kid.
The battle is coming up thanks to this episode's sponsor, DraftKings Casino.
Big news from the casino! Lightning Link is available online for the first time ever, right on DraftKings Casino.
If you're new, you can play $5 and get 1,000 spins, including 500 Lightning Link spins.
Add extra barbecue sauce.
Add Astra Abasas.
Yeah,
Welcome
that.
to Tevat, a mysterious land
Ad Astra. Alright, I'm already done.
governed by godly archons that drew the eye of someone beyond the stars, Aether.
AKA the Traveler, who escaped his dying world with his sister Lumine.
He's thousands of years old? I don't know that. That's new to me. Alright.
in search of the
Like I said, I couldn't get into Genshin, okay? I couldn't. I tried. I couldn't get into it.
flowers that bloomed on their lost home. Only
And no, it wasn't the fandom, actually. Because I play these games without interacting with the fandom. I just view them from I just view the Genshin fandom from afar, looking at the mentally ill freaks in there with disgust. Yeah.
to crash land, awaken to an apocalypse, and get cubed by this.
Again, the ones that are actually mentally ill freak, I should probably say, because not all of it is bad, but a good majority of it is. Well, maybe. Well, it could be a majority. Probably is. Nah, it's too much.
Separated from his sister, Aether awoke
A good portion. We'll be safe and just say a good portion of it now.
In a new, less apocalyptic age, and fished up his own pathetic pet pixie, Paimon.
Yeah, she makes for good emergency food.
Yeah, and her voice actor was a bitch till she finally got replaced. Yeah, thank God.
With his new guide, Traveler to the windy
And she sounds a
country
lot
of
less
Mondstadt
annoying,
to
too.
find his link to the past, but got a Breath of the Wild glider instead.
And his first element, Animo, letting him make air slashes, tornadoes, and of course,
Windblade! But
Yep.
guess what? Traveler wasn't the only one with a power like this. Teyvat was full of blessed people wielding these relic things called visions.
vision bearers can imbue their weapons and bodies with elemental power, summon items, and use a special, well, vision to perceive the elements around them.
Normally, they're limited to a single element, but Traveler is just built different. Through Paimon's guidance, he began collecting elements from mysterious statues across Teyvat. No vision relic needed for him.
Each nation had a new culture, a new element, a new crisis.
And new character banners. When asked to
Yeah.
play a sleuth for a murder case in Liyue, Traveler wasn't interested. A corpse couldn't tell him where his sis was, but he was roped in anyway and got the Geo ability to form rock constructs and eruptions of Earth.
When Aether ventured to Inazuma, he didn't care about its war with the Vision Bearers and their Archon either, until he saw the suffering caused by its tyrannical rule, and joined the resistance with Electro abilities, fighting the powers that be using electric buzzsaws, thunderblades, and lightning.
He even learned to dodge lightning. Other Electro users like my wife Lisa can conjure storms. No shock when my adopted daughter Klee made explosions that raised mountains. Traveler met all kinds of people like this. You know the type. Twinks.
Oh, back. I want to hear that again.
My adopted daughter Klee made explosions that raised mountains. Traveler met all kinds of people like this. You know the type. Twinks.
Yep.
Yeah, Teyvat has its own laws, Boomstick. Many twinks being one of them. Maybe 2 or 3 of them, actually.
Quite a few of them.
Shut up, Wiz. This guy's
Aether being one of them, yeah. Or Femboy, yeah. Femboy with good game is what he is.
been playing Genshin since launch.
I know everything there is to know about the Genshin meta. Either can mix elements
Jesus.
for different reactions. Basically, big elemental combinations. Geo crystallizes
That's definitely gonna play. That's definitely gonna play a factor in the death battle. Yeah.
materials into special barriers. Electro mixed with water stuns foes. Animo spreads elements around in swirls of destruction. Boom!
Like how I combine beer and gunpowder.
Exactly, Boomstick. Using Animo spreads elements around in swirls of destruction. Boom!
Like how I combine beer and
Sorry. Sorry, Chlorine was on the screen. Unneeded. Sorry.
gunpowder.
Exactly.
She's one of my top 5. Sorry. Sorry. Just need a
Boomstick.
moment.
Using Dendro, Traveler can form plant life that, when mixed with water,
Okay. Sorry.
water and lightning, makes homing beams. Yeah, run from that. With enough clever thinking and
Yes, another top 3. Yeah.
artifact farming, you can combine anything in Genshin.
Okay, we get
I'm
it.
sorry, top 5. Whatever.
Go lose another
You know, yeah, she's at the top 3 there. Suck it. I don't care.
50-50, you whale.
I'll show you a whale.
Oh god, go back. I'm hearing them talking about it.
With enough clever thinking and artifact farming, you can combine anything in
And that's one of the things I hate about gacha games. Artifact farming. Hate that.
Genshin.
Okay, we get it. Go lose another 50-50, you whale.
I'll show you a whale. Drop one on your lap next time you're not looking.
In Sumeru, Traveler later beat Scaramouche. an edgy catboy with multiple elements at his fingertips, all in a time loop that got repeated 168 times.
Damn.
Speaking of time, Aether had control of more than just his own future. Tevet's fate fundamentally changed in ways small and grand, all through his unending willpower.
Because the Traveler was a descender, someone unbound by the land's destiny. Even this big tree that records all of the world's events had no idea he existed.
Like when he helped defy the judgment of a biblical flood in Fontaine, where he mastered Hydro for his best Cuphead impression with water bullets.
Heck, a dinosaur chose not to blow up the world just because Paimon and Traveler befriended it. If that wasn't cool enough, Traveler can, unrelated, turn into a dinosaur. Hell yeah! Yo, look at him. Wonder if I could get a dinosaur on my Genshin team.
Through these legally distinct Pokemon, Aether can fly, dig through the earth, or charge foes like a Jurassic bull. He traveled across the land, searching far and wide, and finally stopped swinging that one-star dull blade.
Instead, picking up the prototype Rancor, which he wields like a beast thanks to the Swordmaster Skirk, and several straight days of training. What a grind set! Still, Traveler's Cyst kept eluding him, choosing to hang in the shadows with these Gluminati folk.
A group from Conria, the nation cursed by the gods for messing with the Abyss. Unbeknownst to Aether, his sister had already traveled to Vat in a journey that mirrored his own.
And at the end, she found... Well, we don't really know. Not yet, at least. But whatever it is got her to side with the creepy villains. Plot twist!
Eventually, Aether reached the nation of Natlan to fight in its never-ending war with the Abyss. He gained the Pyro element, learning to launch fireballs and explosions combined of flame with lightning.
He didn't just dabble in fancy pyrotechnics. By connecting with the people there, Traveler achieved Night Soul's Blessing, a power-up state fueled by primordial element juice, strong enough to make a blade of fire hundreds of feet long. Hell yeah, that's strong enough to take down the heart of the Abyss, which is on the level of 5-star waifus like Mawika and the Raiden Shogun.
An Archon who,
both of those in the top 5 too,
in ages past, sliced Yashiori Island in two.
That's cool, but how about when this Venti guy threw a whole-ass mountain? According to Paimon, Traveler can level a mountain himself.
Additionally, Aether learned how to use light energy to form a Kuvaki shield, something he used to protect the people of Nodcry by blocking a cannon blast with enough energy to obliterate a town.
This was no ordinary cannon either. It also uses Kavaki energy, so that's a beam of light.
Through all his adventures, Aether had come to genuinely care for Tevat's people. Maybe one day he will reunite with his sister, but for now, he's fighting for a whole new world. His new home.
Ooh, you need a higher adventure rank for that.
Don't you worry, gang. I dumped all my savings into Primo Gems for this. We can't miss when those ice guys trying to kill the Traveler inevitably warm up to him. Still got it.
Oh, so that's why you're broke as shit.
To Aether, the journey...
Probably, there's too many people who spend way too much on... I know I spend a lot on gacha too, but... I don't spend enough to the point where I go in debt or go broke, okay? Like, if I... like, I spend sometimes, but I don't go crazy with it, alright? I know when to stop, alright? Yeah, I know when to stop. Especially since I get good pulls, apparently. Okay, not all the time, but... I've never failed more than one 50-50 in a row, so you know what? I say that's an accomplishment. I've been playing gacha games for... what, almost 2 years now? Never failed more than one 50-50 in a row still. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Now.
Has meaning. The birds of Tevat, the songs of its people, they are all part of it. Even if he's against the Abyss itself, a new dawn is somewhere just beyond the stars. And a field of flowers Lumine too loved. The battle's about to start, and if you like death battle music, some of your favorite battle tracks are coming to a collectible vinyl album.
They're playing the they're playing the one with Ghost Rider versus Spawn. That one's a great hit.
Album features 10 tracks from our independent era, created by our awesome composers Brandon Yates and Theirwolf Media, like Death and Bloom from Ruby vs. Baka.
That one was also a good one. Death and Bloom, yeah. Yeah, I knew that one. Then again, I knew that one was gonna be good because they got, what was her name? They got one of the people that did the Ruby soundtracks for that. Yeah, Which, you know, I criticized Ruby, especially for going to shit after Volume 3, because it was horrible after Volume 3, except for Volume 6. That one was somewhat decent, then it went back to shit. But one thing I will always praise it for, and that's it's for the kick-ass music. Yeah. The show went from something great to something horrible, but the music still kept up. I will give them that.
Thief from Joker vs. Giorno.
It was also good.
Oh, can't forget Game Over from Bowser vs. Eggman.
Yeah, that one was really good too.
And more. Plus, it makes a great piece of art to display.
Can't believe there are people who actually disagree with the outcome of that.
Around your place. Drawn up by our own animation director, Luis Cruz.
This album is only available for pre-order. So head to deathbattle.gg or click the link in the description before August 10th and pre-order a copy so you don't miss out.
And remember, Archivist and Chronicler members get a discount. That's deathbattle.gg, the home of Death Battle.
Alright, here we go.
All right, the combatants are
Yeah, I'm betting on Aether winning this, but we'll see. Now,
set.
because the thing that's really getting me is the energy bending, but I guess we'll find out now.
We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright, here we go. See how this goes.
Wind blade!
Oh, we're already into it. Damn, we're jumping straight into it. Alright. Here we go.
2 elements?
Eh. They got a woman to voice Aang. I can already tell. Oh. Yeah, you got that too, buddy. Nope. He's just gushing over it. Oh, no. No, he's on the back. Alright. I know we criticize death battles for, you know, making characters do things they would never canonically do, but this is probably something that would happen, and we all know Aether and Aether and Aang would probably be really good friends, but death battle is a death battle, yeah. I think one of the biggest criticisms of that was Obi-Wan versus Kakashi, because we know they wouldn't fight. We know they'd get along, but no. Death battle's a death battle. Okay, let's get back into this! Alright. Alright, here we go. Oh. Oh, that. Alright. Alright. Nope. Oh, what is it, Geo? No, not Geo. It's Dendro, yeah. Oh, here we go.
What's going on? Paimon goes treasure hunting for 2 minutes now. Everything is going
Oh God! Oh, shut up. Alright. Nope. Alright, now we're wind gliding. Alright.
Cool glider. Can it do this?
Probably not. Oh, damn! Bonked him on the head! Oh boy. Oh jeez. Alright.
Come on, traveler! Get up! Never, ever, ever stop moving forward! Remember!
Alright, here we go.
No one fights alone.
Here we go. He still hasn't gone Avatar state yet. Alright. Woo! Animation's going pretty crazy for this though. Oh, here we go.
For those who came before, and those who will follow, I am Avatar Aang, the last Airbender.
Alright. Oh boy.
Take this!
Alright. Oh. Oh! Alright. There we go. Oh, this is it, isn't it?
Shallows. Through infinite dusks and dawn!
Woo! And that's it. Yep. We all saw that coming.
Way to go, Traveler! But does this mean no treasure?
Yes. No treasure. Yep. We all saw it coming. We all saw it coming. Yep. But hey, it was actually pretty good. I actually really like this one. Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
And my dailies are done.
This was an
It's just a daily quest.
pairing, so let's break this down by power, experience, speed, and elements.
First up, power. Aang and Traveler could both change the terrain of entire cities, and were way stronger than characters that can break mountains. But at their peak, they're both tearing up islands.
Aang's avatar state made him on par with Kyoshi, who created and moved the island of Kyoshi. Similarly, Night Soul's blessing let Aether contend with Archon-level foes like the Raiden Shogun, who split Yashiori Island in two.
With an attack that even Vision Bearers weaker than Traveler can block. So he's definitely on that level.
Kyoshi Island is over 6 miles wide and long. Kyoshi moved the island 17 miles offshore in 2 seconds. So we have everything we need to calculate the amount of kinetic energy this would require.
Turns out it's basically the same as cutting through Yashiori Island. About 3,000 gigatons of TNT. So their power is tied up.
Which means comparing their experience is crucial.
Aether's mastered more elements than Aang, but the Avatar state gave Aang centuries of knowledge.
With the memories and abilities of past avatars, Aang's kit was so extensive in a way
Is this a
Aether
tie
had
too?
no
'Cause
real
Aether-
answer for.
Not to mention, Aang's training was more focused.
Okay,
Traveler
maybe
is
not.
skilled, sure, but his training was mostly just a means to finding his sister, while Aang's journey was all about mastering elements to combat other elements.
Experience narrowly goes to Aang. However, another important factor to consider is speed.
In terms of mobility, both could roughly match the other. If Traveler was immobilized with earthbending, he could just dig his way out as a dinosaur.
And Aang's airbending and glider meant he could easily counter Aether if he took flight.
But in terms of raw reaction speed, Traveler had it in the bag. Aang bending away lightning is crazy fast, but Traveler could dodge lightning much earlier in his journey, and now he can block that light-speed Kuvaki laser.
While lightning can move over 200,000 miles per hour, a beam of light can move 186,000 miles per second.
Over 3,000 times faster than Aang. Traveler takes speed by a landslide.
So this all came down to the elements. Who could turn the forces of nature against the other?
At first, I actually thought this was Aang's dub.
Aether's elemental control is remarkable, but most of his attacks are projectiles, spires, and very specific implements that Aang has bent away in the past. Aether has never shown the precision or creative flexibility that we've seen with Aang's bending.
But throw in the combos of elemental reactions and the script flips. Traveler could mix not just his elements, but also Aang's in ways that Aang could not. Bending was Aang's greatest strength, but also, against Traveler, a weakness.
Because Aang usually had one or more elements around him, it gave Aether an easy access point through these combinations. When Aang used fire, Aether could use lightning to catch him in an overload. If Aang used water, Traveler's electrocharge could paralyze him, and so on.
This isn't just a gameplay thing. Genshin characters like the lovely Lisa canonically say this is how the elements work.
And unlike Aang, Aether has fought multiple people who can use multiple elements. The longer the fight went on, the more Aether would trip Aang up with these combinations, some of which Aang could not bend.
Aang could redirect lightning, sure, but what about electro buzzsaws, or an electrified tornado, or dendroblasts of pure plant energy?
The Kavaki shield especially gave Aether a strong defense to fall back on. Since it was made of pure light, Aang had no way to remove it outside of brute force.
By comparison, Aang's wind barrier wouldn't block Traveler's elements. It would actually merge with them and create more combos that would target Aang himself. Not a
so,
great
yeah.
situation to be in.
And since Aether's powers came from
That would make
external
things
earthly
worse.
sources, like those statues, Aang could not depower him with energy bending, even if he theoretically overcame Aether's willpower.
Willpower that is strong enough to alter the fate of the entire world. Sorry, Aang, but elements goes to the Traveler, cinching his victory. Either way you cut it. He
I don't know how to describe it. Explanation felt a bit off on some parts, but for the most part, I agree.
was in his element.
The winner
All right, who's
is
next?
the Traveler, Aether.
All right, who's next?
Okay, I'm ready for my cameo. Oh.
Yeah, bye. I don't care. Bye.
Next time
Who's next?
on Death Battle.
There we go. Who are you? Oh god. Brick by real brick. Oh, is this-
Subscribe and join us.
Yeah, it's. Oh, this should be something. This should be fun. I also love the, love the reference towards the, bricks and minifigs thing. I have not heard or seen a Ninjago or a Bionicle in forever. Huh. So that should be pretty interesting, yeah. I came up with a couple other death battles I would have liked to see, other than Taskmaster versus Deathstroke. That's one I want to see. Another one I want to see is Sandman, Marvel's Spider-Man Sandman. Last time I brought up said Sandman, people thought I was talking about Mr. Sleepy. No, I'm talking about no, I'm talking about Sandman, Spider-Man's villain, versus Crocodile for One Piece, because that's an interesting debate. To me, that's an interesting one. I would like to see something like that, because from what I know, it's a pretty big stalemate, but there's certain factors that could tip it in either's favor, yeah, depending on how it would go, at least from what I know. Because I know quite a bit, but not absolutely everything, yeah. Also, going back to that Taskmaster versus Deathstroke one, that would totally have to be live action. It would totally have to be with those two. And that would also be neat, because Death Battle slaps with their live action death battles, they do. You can also see the Lizard versus Killer Croc being one. I know that's one that's been brought around a bit, but, you know, I'd like to see that put in the action. I know the Lizard wins, but it'd be fun to see still. Max Steel versus Ryuko Matoi was one I thought of, too. That'd be pretty neat. There's another cartoon from the past to bring back. And while this is a matchup I've saw brought up every time and time again, I don't know why this is brought up as a matchup, because, one, it's an absolute gutter stomp, and two, the correlation between the two is barely there. It's Dio Brando versus Sakuya Izioi from Toho. Like, just what is the correlation other than the fact that both of them can stop time, and one of them having superior time powers, Sakuya, and that they throw knives, and one of them seems to be more skilled than the other. But if you don't know who wins that fight, it's Sakuya, and it's not even close. Another interesting one would be Alucard versus Carnage. That would be another one. And Alucard from Hellsing, yeah. And one I'd also like to see is Accelerator versus Gojo. Love to see that. And that, or just any death battle with Accelerator in it. I want to see that. Here's an interesting one. Zaraki Kenpachi from Bleach versus Broly. That'd be an interesting one. One that was brought up on stream was one between Master Chief and Samus. That'd be an interesting one as well. I think Samus would win that one, but I'm not too sure. I'd love to see Black Cat versus Catwoman finally put to rest. Yeah, I see debates about that all the time, and I would love to have a definitive answer of who would win those two. Because based on what I've gotten, is that it can go either way, but I'm not too sure. I lean more towards the Black Cat with that one, because Spider-Man villains are crazy, but at the same time, she doesn't seem as crazy as the other ones, unless I missed something, which I most likely did. And I don't think Venom, I don't think Symbiote Black Cat counts from Web of Shadows. Yeah. Oh my god, my camera just went out for my... Oh my god. I don't know why, but my camera for my VTubing avatar just goes out at times like this, yeah. I was gonna say the last death battle that she should do for like a season finale should be Saitama versus Goku. Finally put that debate to bed, which, yeah, here's some more rage bait. Saitama wins that. And you wanna know why it's rage bait? Because it's just the truth. Because the truth can be rage bait. We've learned this plenty of times over history. And by history, I mean recent times. I can go on and on about certain death battles I'd like to say, but video's getting pretty long, so I should go and end it. Yeah, especially since my VTuber avatar is just, my camera, it's just not working anymore. Like, my VTuber avatar is asleep. He's like, end it, it's long enough. So yeah, we'll go into that. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video as much as I did. And if you did, go check out the original video and Death Battle as well. They'll both be linked in the description below. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, because it helps out a lot and is very much so appreciated. And I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.